Grace, listen to this. Listen to this. I have some big news to share. And that news is, I'm finally getting married. I see. Congratulations. Wow, what little tension you have. This is the whole reason why I never like talking to older women like yourself anyway. You guys just love to take all the fun out of everything. I'm sorry. I just didn't think you'd ever be getting married, and that's left me surprised. I had never been as cute or as beautiful as you, and most men were never attracted to me because of that, right? But finally, I was able to find myself a man who is into me. And that is really good to hear. And because I'm finally getting married, you'll be coming to see my wedding, right? I've already started sending people invitations through email to my wedding and everything. And for you, I'll be sending it over text, okay? Oh, is it all right if I do that for you? I'm sure that older women like yourself have some trouble with technology, right? I should be able to manage. Go ahead and send me that invitation. If I find that I'm having any problems with it at all, I'll let you know. Ivy, what is up with this invitation? This date you chose to have your wedding on? You already know I won't be able to come to your wedding on that day, right? What? Why won't you be able to come out and celebrate with me on that day? I knew about how you had plans for that day, but it's not like any of those plans are that important, right? Don't even start with me, Ivy. I told you about how that day is the 1-year anniversary of my son's death, and that is going to be a very serious day for me. I told you half a year ago that all of the family would be going out to see his memorial so that we could all show our love and respect for him once again. Aha, that's what you're talking about? I heard about all of that, but I didn't think it would be that important of an event or anything. Huh? Isn't it kind of a waste to be setting time aside for someone who isn't even alive anymore? And it's not like he's going to care any because he's already gone and won't know anything about what's going on here. What did you just say? I understand that my son is no longer around, but he was alive for a very long time and knew all of us. Are you telling me you never cared about your nephew at all? You really think I cared for him as much as you did? I mean, my brother's son was cute and all, but the fact that that brat had your blood mixed in him, I kind of felt indifferent when he died. It would have been a lot better had you never given birth to him in the first place. You! Anyway, I've already talked with my brother about the wedding and everything, and he's on board with coming that day. You won't have to come, but make sure to send your wedding gift to me with my brother. Honestly, having a woman come to celebrate my wedding who had her son die while he was still partially in her is very bad luck, I think. So yeah, you can say no to that invitation I sent you and go to that memorial all by yourself. Screw you, Ivy! Wow, you're scaring me now. But it's not my fault all of that happened. So don't start getting upset with me over the fact that you couldn't care for your son well enough and let him die. Sorry that my wedding is happening on the day of his memorial, but who actually cares, right? Everyone from the family will be coming to my wedding, so you can cry over your dead son all by yourself. Good luck! I see. All right then, Ivy. Sorry that I'm the only one between the two of us who's going to be happy. Dave, you're still at the detective agency, right? You don't have to reply to me until you've finished whatever business it is that you have, but I'd like to talk with you as soon as you're done.
I'm sorry, just looked at my phone. You started texting me while I was still talking. I have some things I'd like to tell you as well right now. But let's start with what you have to say first. We can get into a lot more detail later on if you want, so start by just giving me a slight rundown.
All right. Actually...
I was finally able to get out of the agency building. I had to read through all the things you sent me, and all I can say is, what the hell? Who does Ivy even think she is, saying all of those heartbreaking things?
I don't think that your sister is the kind of person I want to be around anymore. After everything she said about our son, I'm at a loss for words now. I'm really, really sorry that you had to grow up with someone like that as your sister. Honestly, I'm totally fine with you and I just abandoning her and moving on with our own lives now. That's how little I want to be around her now.
Don't worry, and thank you for bringing this to my attention. I'm gonna be honest here, I don't think of her as my little sister anymore now.
What? Why do you say that? I understand that her and I have always been at odds with one another, but you guys at least shared a bond as brother and sister, right? Sure, she may act like a demon and say the most heinous things to everyone, but she is still partially your family.
I thought the same thing, that she was still going to be my sister no matter what. Until I heard what the detective had to tell me.
You got some answers from them? Oh, did they find what we've been looking for?
Yes. They were able to find the person responsible for what happened to you right before you were supposed to have our son. The person that stole our son's life from us and left our family in ruin.
So we finally have the culprit then.
We never had a chance of finding out who it was before, after the officer that was chasing them down got into that accident and couldn't pursue them anymore. But by having the detectives work with us, we finally have the answer. And it's not an answer that I wanted to hear from them. The one that murdered our son was Ivy herself.
What? It was Ivy? That means that... Then that bitch is the one! Not only is she gone and planned her wedding 1 year after the death of our son, but she was the one who killed him in the first place?
That's what it seems like. I won't be able to forgive her now. The fact that she stole our first child's life from us and put us both through hell is why I'm going to make sure she never has her way around anyone ever again.
I will not let her get married after what she's done to us and our son. I won't allow it. We have to get revenge for what she's done. And until we do, I won't be able to rest or sleep any. Grace, my wedding is finally going to be taking place tomorrow. And my brother said that he'll be coming along to celebrate it. I can't believe that you'll have to have that memorial for your son all by yourself now. You must not be loved by anyone then, huh? That means that nobody else cares about you and never thought you needed that son in the first place. You seem to be having a lot of fun there, Ivy. Well, I'm just enjoying the sight of a witch like yourself who stole my brother from me, crying in pain now. And I'm going to milk your sadness for as long as possible. Therefore, I hope this seals your decision to never have another brat like that one again. You don't have what it takes to have any children, and that's why the first one died before he could even enjoy this world. I wonder about all of that. I'm sure the only brats that you can have are all mentally disabled in some way, right? And they would become, for a lack of better words, burdens to society. Giving birth to a bunch of useless beings will only piss the rest of us off. Yet the fact that you didn't understand that before making your first son is really heartbreaking. This will be your last chance talking poorly about me like that. You're just saying that because you're in pain and despair now, right? You poor, poor thing. I hope you enjoy that wedding of yours very much. I'm praying from the bottom of my heart that everything goes to plan. What? And that plan, of course, is mine. The one where you'll witness hell for the first time and be consumed by it forever. So don't be mistaken, I'm not praying for you to become happy after the wedding. I'm praying that everyone else can by watching you rot away in agony. I have no clue what you're going on about. All I seem to hear from you is the crying of a sore loser. My wedding is going to be starting really soon here. I'm sure you're all by yourself right now, trying to have that memorial for your son, right? Well, that sort of depressing situation suits you well, Grace. I'm not all by my lonesome here. Wow, so you're going to start lying about it now? I'm sorry to say this, but we both know that all of our family will be coming here to my wedding today, so there can't be anyone going there to be with you. I'm going to become happy with all of my family, while you suffer alone thinking about how you let your son die, right? This is what you get for stealing my dear brother from me. What the hell is this? Explain what is going on right now, Grace. Why the hell have you come all the way out to my wedding? And why are you in funeral apparel? And why is everyone else from the family all in their funeral attire right now? This is all you're doing, right? Hello again, Ivy. You are absolutely right. This is all my doing. After what I explained to everyone, they all followed in my footsteps by coming to your wedding dressed in black. I'm not playing around right now. Why the hell would you do something like this to me on my wedding day of all days? Because today is the day of my son's memorial. Huh? Did you think that when all of the family received emails from you talking about how they were invited to your wedding on the day of my son's memorial, they would all just toss the plans they had made with me to come to your wedding? Everyone came to me right after they received those invitations and asked me what I wanted them all to do. So I went ahead and told them what I wanted. I told them about how my husband and I found out that it was you behind the death of my son after you pushed me off that walkway, forcing me to land on my belly and end the life of my son. I pushed you? What are you talking about? You can play dumb all you want, but the truth is already well known and there is evidence to back it up. We made sure to look into the crime after it had been committed. I've already gone and shown all of that evidence to the rest of the family now. And every single one of them is beyond furious. They all told me that they'd forget about your wedding and marriage, but them all staying away from your wedding wouldn't have put an end to it, right? It wouldn't put an end to my wedding? You thought I'd just let you get away with what you've done to my son? There is no way in hell myself, my husband, and the rest of his family will allow you to ever be happy again after what you've done. And that's why I told every single person in this family to wear their funeral clothes today to your wedding. So they did. And that is why at this moment in time, there are tons of people at your wedding seething with rage, dressed in black. Would you like to come out and speak with us yet? Screw you and everyone else. It's because of you now that my all-white wedding is filled with people dressed in black. What the hell is all of this? I have never seen such a beautiful wedding being destroyed in such a way. I won't forgive you for ruining the one and only chance in my life to have a wedding and be happy about it. It's not like I was the one that even pushed you. You all have the wrong idea and are confused now. It was you that fell off that walkway and killed your own son, you idiot. I didn't do crap. You think I did that to my own son and myself? You're the only person that thinks that right now. No, I'm not. I never ever pushed you off that walkway. If I'm saying that, then that must be true since I knew what I was doing then. I'm the only one that knew. I can't believe that even though everything you're saying is a massive lie, everyone is believing you and coming here to ruin my wedding. I'm glad your son died during childbirth. But now you've taken things way too far, and I will not let it go unpunished. I'm not the one who will be punished, though. Ivy, what exactly is this about you wanting a settlement from me? I just found out that today you've been trying to get a settlement from me for something, but I wanted to ask you about it before taking any action. Do you really think that it's that hard to figure out why I'm wanting a settlement from you now? You went and ruined my whole wedding last week, so I'm going to make sure you pay me back for all that. Why else would I be getting a settlement from you? This is what you get for being a complete bitch, so make sure you have that $15,000 to me soon. And because of you, my son died. So us all coming and ruining your wedding was payback for that. Huh? Why don't you just go make another son then with my brother? You can make as many babies as you want if you'd like, yet I'll never be able to get that wedding you made me lose back. Now get out of my face and try again. Although this time you might want to do a better job of watching your step when walking on high places. If that's how you want to talk about all this still, then I have no choice. I'm going to make sure you have no more freedom to become happy and completely crush that stupid face of yours. That was always the plan, of course, but after what you've just said to me, there is no more hesitation. I won't feel bad about anything I do to you, since you don't even have a single ounce of regret for what you've done. I don't really care to listen to your monologue about your feelings of depression to me. Now, hurry up and pay me that money, you baby-killing bitch. Are you kidding me right now? I have no freaking idea what's going on here. Why do I have to be the one to pay you a settlement now? And what the hell is this about the police having been called on me? What the actual hell do you think you're doing? Yep, that's what I've wanted. I told you already. I'm going to crush you and take away all your freedom to be happy. I hope that when I'm finished with you, there is nothing left in that soul of yours but darkness and regret. I will not let the damn police come and arrest me for no reason. Now listen, you old whore, you can't just go around all the time claiming to be a victim to everything all the time. Take a minute to think about what shameful things you're doing, you child. I'm the child here? I'm sure you've just gone completely hysteric now after having lost your son. As long as you don't make a baby with my brother again, you can go ahead and bring whatever ungodly heathen you want into this world. Then you won't have to think about the last one you let die, and we can all be happy again, right? But you'll still have to pay off that settlement I asked for from you, so you'll end up in poverty. But who cares, right? That's never going to happen. Huh? Because of you, I was told by all the doctors I'd never have a chance of having any babies ever again. You know about how I got married to Dave 5 years ago, right? And that it was difficult for us to make any kids? I suppose I remember that. Now that you mention it, you had a lot of problems making kids then. I don't care about your problems though, so let's move on. Wait, does this mean that you're infertile? That's right. After Dave and I both went and got evaluated, the doctor came to the conclusion that we'd need outside intervention in order to get me pregnant. That's why after 4 years of trying and trying for a baby, I finally became pregnant. We both cried tears of joy for hours and hours in our bed, knowing that we'd finally be able to have a baby. We went around telling everyone about how I'd finally become pregnant, even you. We both knew how much you hated me, yet Dave still wanted you to know that a miracle had happened. Oh, I don't care. And if I remember correctly, you and I were a lot closer to one another before you got pregnant. You think so? What I remember before I became pregnant was you always stealing things of mine and coming into my room and tearing up all my clothing. What? Did I do all that? That's why Dave and I agreed that after becoming pregnant, it was best that I stayed away from you and minded my own business. Things were going pretty well until the week my baby was supposed to be due. As I was walking home from the clinic with my son to be born soon, I had to cross the road using that walkway, and someone I knew was at the top. That someone was you, and before I even had a chance to say anything, I was on the ground in agony with my water broken and blood coming out of me. That all happened because you had pushed me over the side of that walkway. I was told something like that by my doctor after he tried delivering my son in his critical condition. That there would never be another chance like that for me to have a baby, and that I was better off giving up. So you're never going to be able to have another kid? Awesome. Awesome. In other words, that means you'll never be able to make another baby ever again, right? That's awesome news to me and means celebration now. Ivy, you really are such a bitch. Huh? Now, why do you think it's okay for you to call me that? It's fine for me to call you that since you're a useless member of society and a total failure. But me? And to me, all you are is a reason for why the justice system exists and why something like the death penalty can be warranted. I'm not going to take everything into my own hands, but I will call you out as what you really are. And as for you saying you didn't push me, after having worked with some detectives, we have footage from that day that had been taken by a street camera of the whole incident. And in that footage, it can be seen clear as day you pushing me over the edge and then running off in a hurry. And that's why right now as we speak, Dave is going to your husband and showing him all of that evidence. What? You thought we wouldn't get him involved? We would both be terrible people letting an innocent man like him stay married to a murderer like you. And I told you what was going to happen, right? That I'd be taking away your freedom to be happy? This is going to be it for your marriage, Ivy. I'm sure he's going to want a divorce after everything he's had to see. Not only will you be arrested and have to pay me a major settlement, but you'll be losing your husband as well. You will be forced to become the most lonely person on the planet and have to rot in hell all alone. And that's just the way I've been wanting things to happen. You can't be serious. It's your fault for being infertile and not ever being able to have a child in the first place. You were already a defective woman to begin with, yet you thought you could still have my brother? Dave is my ally in all of this, and he'll never leave my side. He is my older brother, which makes it impossible for him to do anything to me. He would never, ever be able to abandon me at a time like this. All I have to do is tell him to stop trying to hurt me, and he will. I guess you really have lost your mind. That could be seen happening years ago, but now you've gone completely overboard. Dave, stop all of that BS right now. You're being taken advantage of by that crazy bitch, and you need to break out of that trance right now.
What are you crying about, Ivy?
Remember now, that old bitch is blaming me for her inability to have any kids and killing her son. That's just mean of her. It's her fault that she was never good enough to protect that brat in the first place. I guess that's just the kind of selfish thinking infertile bitches like her have, right? You've probably come to realize that as well, right? So please, could you just give me that videotape that asshole put together and faked?
Understood. I'll hand it over to you.
Perfect!
We've already gone and shown it to everyone and have multiple copies now.
What?
And when I showed it to your husband, he was in shock. He never knew you were this kind of a freak. I heard that he's next in line to becoming a CEO. I'm glad that we were able to help someone like him before it was too late. He's already started talking to everyone about how he's divorcing you, so you'd better go home to him right now. And if you're with a lawyer or whatever right now, have them come with you as well so that we can all explain the legal repercussions you'll be facing. And there isn't going to be any out-of-court settlement here. We are taking you to court and getting every penny we can out of you before sending you to prison.
What are you saying? What's happened to you, Dave?
I don't think there's anything wrong with me. You just don't happen to understand what it's like to be the parent of a dead child that was killed at the hands of their sister.
Who gives a damn about that kid? She was never meant to get pregnant in the first place, so it's her fault for even trying. This is what a useless pile of crap gets for messing with nature. There is no freaking reason for you to be siding with her anymore, Dave. Why are you doing all these terrible things to your cute little sister? Does this mean what I think it means? You don't want for me to be married to someone else? Come on now. If you were jealous of another man taking me away, you should have just said so.
Shut your damn mouth! I'm sure that Grace never said this to you before, but the one who has been infertile has been me.
What?
After going through a whole series of tests, I turned out to be the one with a problem. But I didn't want to live the rest of my life thinking it was my fault I couldn't give my wife a child. And so I did everything I could to get her pregnant. I wanted to see what a baby between us would look like, so I tried for years. I wanted someone to love and care for. I was in tears when I heard that I got my wife pregnant and that I'd get a little boy. So when I later found out that my unborn son had died in an accident and that it was due to my little sister, I broke down hard. I will never forgive you for something like that.
Just wait a second. I may have pushed her a little, but she was the one who chose to go over that edge. And I'm family, right?
You're not family. You're a cancer to this family that needs to be eradicated in order for this family to become happy again. If I remember correctly, you said what happened to my wife was what she deserved. All because she was infertile, right? Then that means I should have been the one getting pushed over the edge of that walkway, right? I'm a failure of a man, right?
Wait, no, that's not what I meant by that. You're not some failure like she is. I only said that about her because she's an asshole.
What you were saying about her was all because you hated the fact she was infertile. But she's not the one who is, it's me. I'm the failure of a man, so it should have been me you pushed. And now that I know you think of me that way, every bit of connection I had to you as your older brother has vanished. I'm cutting you out of my life.
What? You're cutting ties to me?
I have no other choice now. Just thinking about the fact that we share the same blood, I'm burning up with rage. Now I'm gonna make sure you lose all your family, your husband, your money, and your house. I'm gonna hate never seeing how sad your life becomes after Grace and I are gone, but I really do hope you get a good taste of hell. God, just thinking about you makes me want to vomit.
Dave, you're lying about all of that, right? Are you really abandoning me now? Don't do something like that to me.
I'm not joking here. And don't even bother with the rest of the family. Everyone hates you now and is gonna block you and make sure you never show up at any of their places. And if you do try to find them someday, I said I'd be more than happy to help them move out and to another home.
You're doing all of that?
And that's not all. When it comes to Mom and Dad's house, they plan to have it demolished and will move to a new home. We're gonna make sure you spend the rest of your life alone. And that's if you're able to get out of prison. If not, you can spend the rest of your life there with all the other murderers. This is how Grace and I are making sure you never get to experience happiness again. And hopefully will regret what you've done for the rest of your life.
No way.
I've also thought of the chances you have of running away someday and becoming happy somewhere out of the family's sight. So I've taken preventative measures against that.
What?
I took this story online about you and I started to type away about the kind of demon you really are and what terrible things you did to my family. And there are, it seems, a lot of people who really understood the story and have been sharing it with everyone so they all can have an idea of the beast you've become. Scary, right? I haven't even had to say anything else about you. Yet there were people posting things like your address, your place of work, your history. The internet really is an amazing, but also terrifying tool. I'm sure that with how famous this story about you has become, there will be no place for you to run and hide anymore, and no place where you can find another job either.
No! I don't want you to leave me, Dave. I'm your little sister. And that means I'll be by your side for the rest of our lives. Help me, Dave. There's no way in hell you can throw away your own sister like this.
Once you're in prison, you won't be able to see me anymore. The fact that I'll never have to see you or hear from you again makes me grin. Sorry that I'm the only one between the two of us who'll become happy. Grace, Ivy has been transferred to the state penitentiary now. We can finally rest easy knowing she won't be getting out of there for a very long time.
Yay, about time.
I know, right? That was a lot of battling within the courthouse, but we finally did it. And all because we had the full strength of our family behind us.
That was so kind of them. Not only did they help us pay the legal fees for this battle, but they also acted as witnesses to the other things Ivy would do. I'm happy we were able to help your parents move out and into their new house as well.
My dad said he never wanted to think about that child again and left all her things in that house to be destroyed and burned all the pictures they had of her. And now that we have this money from her that we won in the settlement, we can help other members of the family move as well if they want to. I'm so glad everything worked out the way we hoped, and that Ivy has been left with nothing but debt and despair.
It's really over then. Does that mean we can stop being upset?
No, I'm not sure that's the case just yet.
What?
The chances are very slim for her, but when she does get out of that prison in 40 years, there's still a chance she can pay off her debts and live a normal life again.
I'm aware of that.
I will not allow that to happen. I want that bitch to rot in hell forever.
Dave, come on now. We can stop that. It's over now. She's in prison, and I'm sure when all the other inmates hear about what she did, they'll have their way with her.
Are you not in pain after everything you've had to go through and find out?
I am. I really, really am. I will never be able to forgive her, and I hope that she suffers forever after what she's done. But Dave, our son is asking for us to stop worrying so much and to get back to living our lives the way he would have wanted it.
What do you mean?
Dave, I didn't know when to tell you this, but I'm pregnant again.
What? What? Are you serious? But the doctor said...
I know, he told me to give up, but he never said that I had a 0% chance with you. When I went in to find out if I really was pregnant again, the doctor told me it was another miracle. I think that this could be what our son wished for us up in heaven, and that he wants us to forget about everything Ivy had done.
You became pregnant at a time like this. I wonder if he really hates seeing us so upset over what happened.
I think so. And that's why with this baby, I'm going to do everything in my power to protect it. I won't let anyone take them away from me again. No matter what happens next, I am going to have this baby. So please, let's just try dropping this emotional baggage and look towards the future with them.
Okay, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said all of that. I'm going to make sure I do everything to protect you, Grace. Protect you, our baby, and this family.
Thank you so much, Dave. This time we are going to meet with our baby and make them our everything. While in prison, Ivy was given the chance to call with her relatives, but when she tried to, not a single one of them would answer to her. Since then, she doesn't even bother to use the phone anymore and will sit in her cell all day long in a state of pure depression and loneliness. I'm sure it won't be too much longer before our family gets a call from the state penitentiary about how she was involved in a stabbing or something and has become deceased. As for myself, I went and gave birth to the baby I'd gotten pregnant with, and they turned out to be a healthy little boy. It's a whole lot of work having to take care of a newborn, but having finally been able to meet our child, my husband and I couldn't be happier. In a couple more months, it'll be our first son's memorial again, but this time, instead of looking to the ground in sadness, we'll be looking up into the sky, trying to find where he is. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.